Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Beauty on a Budget. My name is Heather and today is Saturday, March 29th of 2025. So I was out shopping today with my husband. I took him to work, so now I'm just coming home. I'm just going to show everything that I got. So I guess I'll start with the first thing. Oh, if I can reach. Got everything laid out here in different piles from the different stores. I had bought this nice piece of fabric that I wanted to make, like it has that vintage feel to it, and I wanted to make TV just turned on. Okay. And so I wanted to make an apron out of it, and so I've been looking on Pinterest and trying to see how I can make my own pattern, but I just wasn't quite sure how to make it and cut it so it would fit properly and things like that. So I've been looking for, the patterns for the apron, and I actually found this one today. It was actually like the second or third pattern that I flipped through, and I found this one. So it's got all the patterns, and it was $1.99, so it was $2.10 with tax. And I'm going to say it doesn't even look like this pattern has been used. Everything is all here. So I really like to, when you find patterns that have never been used. I'm not sure how old these patterns are, when you buy them secondhand. Sometimes they usually have a date on them. I'd have to look through it, but so this, you've got 4 different styles of patterns, and it's actually style A that I actually really want. But it was just, how do you make the ruffled bit, and stuff like that. And it was just, different techniques. But with these patterns, and they tell you like the sizing, like how much material you need. That was the one thing I can look at Pinterest. I can kind of make my own pattern, but I need to know how much material I need. So I'm just trying to see if there is a price or a date on this. Whoever bought this paid, it's $15.95 USA. So it is a newer pattern. Let's see, you should have a date. I don't know. Oh, copyright 2007. So just right along in here. I know somewhere there's going to be dates on these to kind of tell you what year they came from. So it is a newer pattern, but the styles just kind of have that more vintage, basic style to it. So this one here is the really one that I want to make. So that will be something I will be doing in a few months when I get my basement done. I've got a space to be able to lay out fabric and cut fabric. So I finally found that. I was so happy when I saw that. I've been looking for quite a while now. Like I think it's been about 2 years of trying to find a pattern. These are just going to be out of order. I'm just going to go with what I can reach closest to me. I did go to Dollar Tree. Now I found these. These were $1.50, and you get a pack of 12 little tablets. And they're supposed to help clean your water bottles, coffee tumblers, beverage containers, thermoses, and more. I don't think I need it for mine, but my daughter, she's got hers that she uses all the time, and she has tea in it or coffee, hot chocolate, and it does get that staining in there, like especially the teas. The teas are always staining inside the cups. So this you just, says you can use in silicone, stainless, and plastic bottles. Fill the bottle with warm water and drop in 1 tablet. Just leave the tablet for 15 to 30 minutes and rinse thoroughly. For tougher stains, use hotter water and let sit overnight. So I'll definitely get my daughter to try this in her cups. Like I said, she's got 2 water bottles that she uses all the time. So when I saw these, I'm like, she definitely needs these for her water bottles. And then I also found these are the cuticle oil pens. So purple one is lavender, and this peachy color one is mango. And these were $1.75 each. I said, I don't know where I live, Dollar Tree, everything went up. So I actually find now it's going to be between $1.50, to $3 per item now. So I'm not going to the Dollar Tree as often. I just find their quality of product is not worth it. If I'm going to pay the same price as Dollarama, I'm going to go to Dollarama first. But it is fun to just walk around and see what new stuff they have. And I do see some of their cosmetic type stuff is actually a fairly good deal. Like I said, these oil pens were $1.75 each. And I like that they're different, I'm going to say flavors, but no, scents. Not food, so it's the perfume stuff. So I like that. And they're color coordinating ones. So I had to make sure not to get any that are strawberry or cherry. I don't know if they had those ones. They did have a pink one. I didn't even look at it. So I don't know if it was strawberry or cherry. But I have to be careful on that. So I grabbed these two. And I also got two of these basic outdoor little cheap mats. There's the rubber floor mat, or ribbed floor mats, not rubber. These were $1.75 each. So I'd say that's actually still a pretty good price. They're a fairly good size. See, they are 14.9 inches by 22.4 inches. So it's, decent size. And I wanted to make myself some new Easter saying ones. But I can't find, I can find ones that say Happy Easter and things, but I can't find any Christian-based ones. Or any ones I do find, I don't like the colors, or with some of the wording, or it's also just the price to find anything that I really want. So I'm going to make myself some, new outdoor welcome mats. So it goes down there. And then I was at, this is Dollarama. Oops. There's a couple different Dollaramas today. So these all have, Dollarama has their prices on everything. So I got 3 packs of these pom-poms. You get 12 per pack. So I got this one with the blue, a pink, purple, and white, a pink, teal, gray, and white, and like a darker blue, teal kind of color, red, white, and black. So $1.50 per pack. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet, but I just saw them. I'm like, I'm one of those people who, when I see things like this that I know I can use year-round for various crafts, I'm going to grab them when I see them. I was at another Dollarama, and they had a couple more color packs, but I couldn't remember which colors I bought, and I didn't want to buy, duplicates. So now I know which ones I have. Usually if I do this where when they've got like an assortment of different things, you want to make sure you get one of each pack of each color. Instead of buying duplicates, I will take a photo of the ones that I have. So the next time I go there, I'm not going to rebuy it. I got this ribbon here. $1.50 for this little spool of ribbon. I don't know the size. Oh, so it's 38 millimeters by 2 meters. My hand was just covering up the size. And then I found this cute little pack. This was $1.50, and you get 4 in this pack. I might have already bought one of these because I have a few of these ones where I bought where you get the multiple colors. This was the only one I saw sitting on the shelf by itself. I did go up and down the aisles, and I didn't see any more of these multiple pack ones. Does it say? They're 1 centimeter by 2 meters. So that's like 8 meters of ribbon for $1.50. You can see the size difference, but they're all the rolls are 2 meters each. So $1.50 for 4 little packs of ribbon. Again, I think I already bought this pack one time before, but I do like these little thin ribbons like this. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to show which ones. More like these ones here. I don't think it's going to show up, but they have the little bit of a rib to them. I used those ones when I was making the shoes for my gnomes. It just goes around, I don't know, the bottom part of the shoe, just above this, like where the bottom is. You got the top part of the shoe. It just kind of does the extra little trim around. Or if I'm doing like little hats or anything for my gnomes, these are what I use for the trim. Versus trying to do this and trying to cut it. And then I was at, this is another Dollarama that I was at today. And I found only one. It's a Easter shaped canvas. This was $1.50, and it's the bunny, and I just noticed that it broke coming home. I don't think it was broke when I grabbed it. They only had one left, and I grabbed it. Maybe it was broken in the store. I honestly don't know. I just noticed now picking it up. But $1.50, and it is a canvas-shaped bunny. I had an idea of what I'm going to do with this. So, you know, I said, take these little pom-poms here. You know, I mean, these are a little bit, the tail here is bigger, but, you know, something like that is kind of cute. And then I just dropped all the stickers. One second. I got this little pack of these nail stickers for $1.25. You get 30 in here. So they're the Easter ones. So there's bunnies, little chicks wearing hats, and the Easter eggs. And these I can use for either on my nails, which I have done, or I use them in just crafts, and I use them just as a regular sticker. And then I found that a bunch of these stickers, and they're $1 a pack, and they're the puffy stickers. So I'm one who I always go for like the food shaped stickers. I always grab. There's that one and that one. Then I saw the little rubber duckies, and I just thought they just look so cute. And then I found a good springtime one. So it's all these little animals, like farm animals and a few other things, like some frogs and fish or whatever. But they're wearing, ready for, the rainy weather. So they've got their rain jackets on or carrying an umbrella. And I just thought it was just so cute for spring. Not quite sure what I'll do with them yet, but I do collect stickers. And it's so hard to there is so many. I wouldn't let myself look at all the stickers. But it started with this food one was what I'd seen first. And so I had to go through the whole thing to see if there's any more food. And I was just going to buy 1 pack of stickers, but there's so many to choose from. So to cut it down to only getting 4 packs of stickers. And then the place that I spent the most money, I can just move it all over here, is we have another little dollar type store, like Dollarama type store, but it's a little bit more pricey, and it's called $1 or $2. And so I have to keep the receipt because not much has the prices on it. But I walked down the aisle and I saw these little bunny picks, and they look just like the Peeps. Not only do they look like the Peeps, but the little glitter stuff falls off like the little Peeps do shed. They're little crystal, little sugars. So these were $2.35 per pack, and you get 5. So I got 20 of these little bunny picks. Definitely have to go and see. I know they had more. I was going to actually buy 2 of each color, and then I bought some other stuff, so I didn't. So I just bought 1 of each. And then I found some ribbon. Now, the ribbon, I don't know which is which. Each one had a different price. They're all like the same size. They're all like 18 millimeters by 2 meters. I believe that's what the size. I think so. I think that's they all say 18 millimeters by 20 yards. This one's 18 millimeters, if I can, by 2 meters. So yeah, 18 millimeters by 20 yards. And this one I cannot read. It says it is 2.7 meters. Hard to read. So the 3 packs of ribbon, one was $1.25, one was $2. Oh, the velvet one. This one here was $2. So these 2, one was $1.50 and one was $1.25. I'm not quite sure which is which, but like under $2 for a thing of ribbon. And then I found this little adhesive stencil. Just gotta find the stencil. It was $1.55, so it's got 6 actual little ones. One says homemade, unique, handmade, favorite piece, with love, and something special. And I like these. I might actually already have this one, but I don't know where all my stencils are. So it's just for $1.55, even if I already have this one, I now have it again, and I know right where this one will be, because there's a few things that I like to make, and then I like to have, like stencils that say it was homemade or something. And then, let's see, I found this. This is a glue marker. I have never seen these. So it's a broad tip, and it says, the dry is clear. So you just write or draw, and then you add whatever adhesive effect you want and let dry. So this was $1.85 for this little glue marker. I've never seen these before, so I thought this would be kind of fun to try this out with glitter and see how well it works. Because I've tried doing writing with the bottle of glue, and sometimes you get too thin or too thick and you sprinkle the glitter over. So I think with this, it might make it so much easier to do some stuff, because they're showing the back, they're showing you, using glitter. And then I got these. So this is the watercolor pencils. So it's 8 watercolor pencils. I don't know where these are on here. Oh, watercolor. These were $2.25. So the directions: you color with pencils and apply water on top to activate the watercolor paint effect. And I just thought that would be kind of fun to try. I've never owned anything like this. And I said, that's the one thing, is they're dollar store quality. So I don't know how good they are going to be, but just a little over $2. It was under $3 for this pack. I can find what I just said. $2.25. So I figure it's just one of those things fun to play around with, knowing that some of the more expensive ones, probably might work better. But if you've never worked with them, this type of stuff before, I just, dollar stores are a great place to just grab a few basic art supplies and just play around with it until you get your techniques down. Then invest in the better products once you know how to use them. I find like the oil paints, I prefer to paint in oil versus acrylic, but I'm not going to go and spend, a lot of money, like go to Michael's and buy oil paint. I haven't done any oil painting for a long time. So I want to go back into it. So going to the dollar store, if I, buy little packs of those little tiny tubes of oil paint and do a few small things and just play around with the different techniques. Then if I wanted to make something, more like a substantial artwork, then I would probably go to Michael's or some other crafting store or whatever and buy the better stuff. But I just find playing around with this type of stuff, it's just, a little bit more affordable. And then I got this, and this is the soft oil pastels. I love pastels. That was one of my favorite mediums to use when I took Art 30 in high school. So this has got 25 pieces, so you get a whole bunch of colors. I'm not going to list them all. This was $5.50 for this pack of pastels. And it's been a long time since I've used pastels. So the same thing. I did buy a small pack of the pastels from I don't know if I bought it from Dollar Tree or Dollarama, and I found they just crumbled. But it was good to get back into it and learning how to hold the pencil, how to shade with everything again. So same thing. It's just fun to just buy this cheaper stuff to just have fun with, and then buy the more expensive stuff, once you get your techniques down. Now I have got a whole bunch of these window clings. They're all the Easter ones, and I bought 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And there's 2 different prices, so they'd be either $1.65 or $1.85. I'm not sure which ones. Oh, some are glitter. Okay, the glitter ones were $1.85. The regular ones were $1.65. Okay, so this nice big one with all the little chicks. This one here, kind of with the barn and a little bunny driving a car full of carrots. First I thought it was a pickup, but no, it's just a little car. This one here, the plaid little bunnies. And then this one here. I like this train. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to style with these. So these 4 were $1.85 each. The next 3 were the $1.65. I loved these ones. They're so, the bunnies on these ones look so much more realistic. And then these little chicks. And then this last one here with these bunnies. Now, it was the bunny with the top hat and the bunny with the glasses are the 2. When I saw it, I laughed so hard. And so I have to get that one. So that is what I got today. So I'm going to say, see, I spent, so okay, $1 or $2 was about $40. Dollar Tree was nearly $10. This Dollarama was almost $8. I'm just rounding up in my head so I can just see how much I spent. Should be one more receipt. Should be one more Dollarama receipt. Oh, there it is. This Dollarama was like $7, and then Valley Village was like $2. So 7, 14. 24, 26, and then 40, 50, yeah, it's about 56. So nearly $60 is what I spent today on all this crafting supplies and a few other little things I needed. But yeah, it's just, I know for sure I have no Easter supplies for crafting because I didn't really do any Easter crafts last year. I just bought a few things for what I was doing. So I know I needed some Easter spring crafts. Yeah. And like I said, I always grab stickers. So that's what I got today at the mall. And so again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribing to my channels and watching my videos, and I will see you in the next ones. Bye.